I wanted to start off the stream by watching a video that I used to watch a couple months ago. Not this exact video, but this channel. It's called Wham Bam Tesla Cam. So it's basically a bunch of car accidents and stuff, or whatever the Tesla dash cams capture. And I always found that these type of videos entertaining because it's just like it's people crashing, it's people being idiots on the road. So I figured let's watch one and react to it. So this one is called Sleeper Driver Slams Head On into Tesla. So it's from 8 days ago. I think they upload one every week. Definitely go check them out. I'll leave their channel in the description. Good now. All right, let's get right into it. Sleeping driver slams head on into Tesla. Let's see what these horrible drivers are doing now.
Police pandemonium, drunken disasters, poorly executed passes, and so much more are coming up on today's episode of
Wham! Bam! Tesla Cam! I hope you're satisfied!
This subscriber was waiting to make a left turn when the red light ahead suddenly became the least of his concerns.
Oh my god. Damn! Yeah, he definitely wasn't paying attention. And it's a Home Depot truck. Yeah. He's not getting that deposit back.
The driver of a rental van fell asleep before hopping onto an island, smashing into a sign, and slamming head-on into our subscriber's Tesla.
Oh, he fell asleep. That's one of the things. When I was driving a truck, not like I did it for that long, one of the things that they always brought up was the worst thing you could do is drive sleepy. So please, everyone out there, if you're tired, pull over. Don't drive while you're sleepy, because there's no cure for that. Like, there's no way around it. Just get some sleep, pull over for a bit. 5-10 minute power nap on the side of the road. Never hurt nobody. Better than doing this and crashing into a car.
The impact sent the Model 3 spinning and rolling backward into oncoming lanes before the van finally stopped. Incredibly, our subscriber was kept safe and sound by his Tesla's airbags. When police arrived, the van driver told officers that it isn't uncommon for him to fall asleep while driving, but he usually has family with him to take control when it happens. Paramedics also responded to the scene to check on both drivers before taking our subscriber to the emergency room to be x-rayed. Sadly, his Tesla was totaled, and he's now faced with a difficult dilemma. Which model of Tesla should he replace it with? Let him know what you think he should get in the comments. Our vote is the Cybertruck, obviously. Ronald was chatting with a friend in his parked Model Y after enjoying a late dinner when a Prius from the other side of the parking lot barreled over an island before smashing into his Tesla head-on.
No way. You have all this room and you crash into the parked car all the way across the side, on the other side? Oh my god.
The impact shoved Ronald's Tesla up over a curb and into a tree. When police arrived, Ronald told us they arrested the Prius driver for being unlicensed and uninsured. The car wasn't even registered to him. Ronald speculated that
that's gotta suck. Getting hit by somebody that's not insured. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
The driver might have also been under the influence of something, as it took several people to get him under control after he fell over in the parking lot. Thankfully, nobody was hurt in the collision, which is especially amazing considering Ronald's wife had been standing on the right side of the Model Y when it occurred. He doesn't know yet if his Tesla will be totaled, but if it is, he's really hoping he can transfer his full self-driving to a new Tesla, especially considering the collision wasn't his fault. Sorry, Ronald, but since outright purchases of FSD aren't really a thing anymore, we're guessing you'll need to get a settlement check that includes the value of the FSD option, then pay monthly for it on your new Tesla. Dave's wife was driving their Model Y on her way to visit family when the driver of an oncoming Camry, already damaged, began trying to pass traffic that was already going around 55 miles per hour.
And he lost control. Into a ditch. Oh no, he hit another car. Damn.
The Camry driver swerved, then overcorrected and lost control before smashing into an SUV that had been driving behind Dave's wife. Incredibly, nobody involved was seriously injured. When police responded, they determined that the Camry driver was simply inexperienced. The couple in the SUV had been visiting from California on their way to see their grandchildren, and they were grateful to Dave's wife for stopping. They told her, "In California, nobody would have stopped to check on us." Vlad was driving his Model Y, using the passing lane to pass other traffic, when the driver of a blue car in the travel lane suddenly hit the brakes.
What the hell? Damn.
When the driver
Definitely
of the
didn't
silver
look.
Peugeot right behind them swerved into the passing lane without checking to see if it was clear, Vlad's Tesla automatically engaged side collision avoidance. But his tires then lost traction, resulting in an impact with the guardrail. Vlad pulled over on the shoulder, and thankfully he hadn't been hurt. The driver of the silver car was a brand new driver who didn't even have their physical license yet. Vlad made an insurance claim, and repairing his
Doesn't even have their license yet, and he already caused an accident. It's not looking good for you.
Model Y will take 5 days and cost the equivalent of over $13,000 US.
It was a little swipe.
Brandon works at a wrecking yard where he deals with a lot of totaled vehicles, including Teslas. He's constantly finding Tesla cam footage that reveals exactly how the vehicles ended up there. In one case, he reviewed about an hour of Tesla cam footage leading up to a collision, and that led him to conclude the driver must have been intoxicated.
Ooh. Damn. He hopped over a little hill.
The driver wrecked his Tesla by missing a turn, ramming a fence, and flying through the air before landing in a parking lot, all while being followed by a cop on a motorcycle. Brandon told us the driver was arrested for driving under the influence before the California Highway Patrol impounded the Tesla.
Damn. Right. What are the chances you're getting followed by a cop and then you crashed? But not only that, you're driving under the influence. Oh, brother.
Sam had just finished some Monday morning shopping when a truck pulled out in front of him, leaving a trail of what looked like white liquid behind it. When the trailer went over a bump in the road, a huge rock that had been stuck under the trailer came dislodged before tumbling into the path of Sam's Tesla. That trail turned out to be the rock grinding against the pavement before it came flying out and smashed into Sam's Model Y,
that's
damaging
gotta
the front
suck.
wheel and flattening the rear tire on the passenger's side. The trucker pulled over, as did approximately 4 other drivers that had been affected by the debris.
Would the truck driver be at fault here? Let's watch it again.
A trail of what Sam had just finished some Monday morning shopping when a truck pulled out in front of him, leaving a trail of what looked like white liquid behind it. When the trailer went over a bump in the road, a huge rock that had been stuck under the trailer came dislodged before tumbling into the path of Sam's
So that long ass white line is the rock getting dragged.
Tesla.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'd say it's the
That
trailer's
trail
fault.
turned out to be the rock grinding against the pavement before it came
It's got to be his fault, right? Because you could obviously hear, well, you can't hear in the video, but I'm assuming the driver would have been able to hear something getting dragged and just like basically he knew it was there, is what I'm saying.
flying out and smashed into Sam's Model Y, damaging the front wheel and flattening the rear tire on the passenger's side. The trucker pulled over, as did approximately 4 other drivers that had been affected by the debris. Police responded and generated a report about the incident. Sam's Model Y was towed to a local mechanic who specializes in EVs after he alerted his insurance provider. He's now waiting to find out how much fixing the damage will cost.
A lot of money.
Donnie was driving his Model Y towards Sacramento when the driver of a Cybertruck dove across a gore point at the last second to avoid taking an exit, without checking for traffic and without using their turn signal.
Oh, little Tesla on Tesla. Um, what do they call it? Tesla on Tesla crime.
When the Cybertruck cut off Donnie's Tesla, he was forced to slam.
This actually happened to me a couple weeks ago. I don't drive a Tesla, but it's basically the same layout. I was driving on this, like on this street. This is basically me. So I'm driving, and a car over here misses the exit and went all the way over here next to me, and I had to swerve out of the way, and he almost hit me. It was
on the brakes, decelerating
just
from
poor
6 to
driving
7
from the
down
other
to
person.
35 miles per hour in the passing lane of a highway. With an RV in the travel lane next to him, swerving wasn't an option. When Donnie caught up to the Cybertruck and tried to get a look at the driver, they wouldn't make eye contact with him as they kept driving down the highway.
Yeah, because he knew he fucked up. That's why he didn't want to look at him.
Micah was following a dump truck down the right lane of the highway when it ran over a plywood sign laying face down in the lane, sending it flying up in front of Micah's Model X.
Something flies out of the back or what? Ooh.
Thankfully, even though the classic Tesla was heavily damaged and needed $16,000 in repairs, Micah wasn't hurt in the incident. He told us it really shook him up as he'd only been driving for a month when this happened.
Damn, that's gotta suck.
Christian was using full self-driving set to the hurry speed profile when a slow driver ahead of him signaled for a highway exit before blowing right past it. FSD proceeded to change lanes in order to pass the slow Mercedes, but this evidently offended the fragile Mercedes driver, who proceeded to flip him off as he sped past him. He then got in front of.
How are you gonna get mad when you signaled that you were gonna exit and you didn't exit, so the car went around you? Some people are just too much.
Christian's Model Y with his hazard lamps on, prompting FSD to change lanes again to go around him in the exit lane, which only made the poor baby even more upset. Christian really had no desire to have any kind of altercation with him, especially considering he had his family in the car. He yelled at the Mercedes driver that he'd captured the entire incident on video, hoping he'd back off. Instead, he just kept shouting, "Pass me up, go ahead, pass me up," before making an illegal turn to follow Christian, then turning into a parking lot. Christian wisely chose to continue without engaging any further.
That guy was an idiot.
Steve was driving his Cybertruck when a black sedan with no lights on sped past him, followed closely by 2 other speeding cars.
Damn, no lights on or anything, probably stolen. Oh yeah, definitely stolen after seeing that Charger.
A little while later, he came across a vehicle collision scene with police vehicles already present.
Or you know what? Let's rewind it a little bit.
Steve was driving
this
his
car
Cybertruck when a black sedan with no lights on sped past him, followed closely by 2 other speeding cars.
Yeah, so this car has no lights on. Here's what I'm guessing has happened. This car is fleeing. This car looks damaged here, so I'm guessing maybe because the lights are broken, it looks like maybe this car hit that car and he's trying to flee and he's just trying to catch up to him. And then the other car just like his buddy or something, probably.
A little while later, he came across a vehicle collision scene with police vehicles already present, party lights and all. In short order, more police vehicles arrived.
Oh, it was a Mustang police car.
And they just kept coming. It turned out the car without lights on had been fleeing from the other cars, which were both unmarked law enforcement vehicles.
Oh, well, there goes my assessment. I was wrong completely. Those are both cop cars.
The suspect ended up rear-ending an SUV before fleeing on foot into a nearby cluster of trees. As police worked to get the situation under control, they allowed traffic to go around them, giving Steve a great view of what was going on. By the way, somebody commented a while back complaining about our use of the phrase party lights when describing emergency vehicle lighting. We're not disrespecting the cops. It's just a fun little joke we have. And if that's too much for you, you're really not going to like Wham Bam videos.
Wow, he really hit that car.
This subscriber was on his way home with his wife when a man riding an e-bike blew past a stop sign, then flipped our subscriber off as he turned in front of him. Keep in mind, our subscriber didn't have a stop sign. After our subscriber continued past him, the e-bike rider zipped around him and stopped, then cussed and spit at his Tesla. Our subscriber took the first opportunity to go around the guy without...
I thought he threw up a peace sign first. That's what it looked like.
This subscriber was on his way home with his wife when a man riding an e-bike blew past a stop sign.
He did. He threw up a peace sign.
Then
so why did he
flipped
get
our
angry all of a
subscriber off
sudden?
as he turned in front of him. Keep in mind, our subscriber didn't have a stop sign. After our subscriber continued past him, the e-bike rider zipped around him and stopped, then cussed and spit at his Tesla. Our subscriber took the first opportunity
Why'd he
to
get
go
so
around
angry?
the guy without running him over, but he chased after them before passing them again, still cursing and practicing his vocabulary of insults before riding away. Our subscriber reported the incident to the police. They told him this e-bike lacked a license plate and therefore isn't legal on public roads, so they're very interested in identifying the rider. If you know who he is, let us know so we can pass the info along.
Yeah, e-bikes have gotten really popular these last couple of years.
Michael was with his wife Paige, riding in his Tesla with full self-driving engaged, when he noticed a white pickup behind them whose driver was behaving strangely, to say the least. The pickup had turned behind him after FSD had properly taken its turn through a four-way stop, then began tailgating them as FSD followed behind another vehicle, both of them obeying the speed limit. Suddenly, the pickup driver passed them illegally over double yellow lines, brake-checked them to a standstill, then told Michael that he's number one before speeding off. FSD remained in control the entire time, and Michael and Paige were safe and sound in spite of the triggered pickup driver's pointless recklessness and misguided road rage. I'm guessing they're just upset they aren't in a Cybertruck. Zach was driving his Model Y behind a police vehicle when he watched an SUV driver do something either really brave or really dumb.
Ooh.
After cutting off the cop, the SUV driver swerved around before the officer lit up the party lights and pulled them over. Actually, the vehicle ahead of them was another police SUV, and the officer quickly turned around to join the traffic stop. This move wouldn't be okay even if those weren't police vehicles, but doing it literally in front of a cop is a very special kind of oblivious. James had left his Tesla parked while he and his wife celebrated their anniversary, grabbing a bite to eat and playing some pinball in downtown Seattle. When they came back to their Model X, they found a rather unpleasant message written on the tailgate by a guy they'd never seen before. He'd used his finger to write, "I love my wagon," which they just laughed about, and which leaves us confused. Clearly the guy loves his VW or Ford or whatever, but why did he feel that?
See, it's stuff like this where it's like, you took the time out of your day to write that. You could just kept walking, go on about your day. Like, come on.
The need to let James and his wife know about it.
I get it. You may not like Elon. You might not agree with whatever your principles are, whatever. But it's like, just continue about your day. Why you gotta... You could have done anything more productive than this.
James said his wife couldn't wait to send us their Sentry Mode footage the whole way home. If you have Sentry Mode or...
And now your face is out there, you got exposed for writing something on someone's car. And again, he did say he just wiped it off, it didn't bother him, but like...
Tesla Cam footage to share,
it's still
you'll
like,
find the submission link in the video description below. Marty's wife was letting full self-driving take her home after visiting her sister when traffic in the passing lane suddenly began to slow down. It didn't take long for her to figure out why.
what's going on here.
A wild tire came rolling down the highway, incredibly
Oh,
missing
that was
everyone
close.
before crossing the shoulder and bouncing into the ditch.
Wild tire.
With no idea where the rogue tire had come from and no reason to stop, Marty's wife never disengaged FSD, letting it continue to take her home.
Yeah, where did it come from? Why is there so much debris on
Adam
the
was
street?
letting full self-driving take him and his daughter home after shopping, when FSD hesitated at a yield sign even though there wasn't any traffic to yield to. Suddenly, Adam noticed that a deer and her 2 fawns were ahead of them, and although they weren't yet in the way, FSD had realized they were about to be. The Tesla stopped and waited for the family to cross. Adam didn't want to be left out, so he turned on his hazard lamps so other drivers would be warned to pay attention. Yet again, here's a perfect example of FSD.
Alright. Fun fact. Quick story time. I once hit a deer. So, I was driving back. I left the restaurant. I ate with some friends. I was driving home. And out of the side, I see a deer coming. I saw it the whole time. She, whatever the deer was, it ran away into like the woods. But so it was in front of me. I saw it run into the woods, and for some reason it ran into the woods and decided to turn back around and run into the street right at the exact same time when I was crossing. So it went like this into the woods. He said, nope, I'm gonna come back. And as I'm coming, boom, hit the deer. And then I called my dad because I didn't know what to do in that situation. And he said, if the deer got up and it's not there, nothing you could do, just come home. And that was pretty much it. And that's the story of the time I hit a deer.
Doing something unexpected, but with good reason. Never assume a sudden slowdown or swerve is unwarranted. Look around and find out why FSD is doing what it's doing. Chandler was using full self-driving when his Tesla suddenly
that, a
slowed
weasel?
from 55 miles per hour down to only 11, and at first he had no idea why. That's when he noticed a small animal, which he identified as a weasel, running across the road in front of his Model Y. He told us that he would have run right over it without the help of FSD.
I know my animals.
Sam spotted a Cybertruck with a terrible driver as he made his way down a highway in his Model Y. The Cybertruck driver almost sideswiped another vehicle before flooring the juice pedal and speeding past Sam. Moments later, the Cybertruck driver was forced to slow way down and pull over after their frunk suddenly flew open in the middle of the highway. Sam told us the Cybertruck continued down an off-ramp before he lost sight of it.
What the hell? So he was just driving without it being able to see?
Nicholas was on his way to a concert with a friend with autopilot engaged when the Nissan in the lane next to his Model Y began losing its rear bumper cover.
Oh, dang.
Thankfully, the Nissan driver realized that something was wrong and quickly made their way to the shoulder after turning on their hazard lamps.
How does that even happen? It had to have already been damaged, and the wind just
Bryant was on his way home from work when he spotted a tall humanoid figure in the back of a pickup truck. As he got closer, he realized it was something way scarier than someone on stilts. It was a life-sized Demogorgon that someone had managed to restrain in the back of the truck. We have no idea what those straps are made of, but it must be something incredibly powerful. Then again, it's possible it was just a prop. If you spot a live Demogorgon in the wild, be sure to submit your Tesla Cam footage using the link in the description. Bryant told us his family loves watching Wham Bam videos while eating dinner. But honestly, that's super dangerous. You could easily inhale and choke on some food whenever we tell.
Alright, so that was Wham Bam Tesla Cam. Sleeping driver slams head on into Tesla. Like I said, I find these videos entertaining. It's always fun to see people, as you just saw, be idiots on the road. I know there's also like Wham Bam, I think it's called Dash Cam, where it's just random cars, not Teslas, capturing stuff.